Good afternoon, all. Can I get a quick mic check? JD, thank you. Madame? Okay, quick review of my trades. Snap, I'm still off a bit from the buy. Watching that close. Shop, I just entered off a bit. Of course, I'm just entering on a break there on relative strength. AAOI, I'm not that far off on this one now. And that's about it. Small accounts and big accounts hold it. And yeah, shop, I'm just looking for a relative break on the 200 on the 5, hoping that it continues to follow the 20 MA up. VWAP, right now, I'm not sure where it's at. It's a little up from VWAP. I think we've probably seen a bottom here, but I don't know for sure. I guess we're going to find out. ROKU is surprising me a little bit. I thought maybe there'd be some short covering today, and my suspicion is that is what this is. Mind you, that stock RSI came right up, so it looks like some fresh bulls in there. We'll see. The follow through does anyway here. This in here was short covering, I'm sure, but I think this is new buying coming in now. So that's shop and ROKU. Shop, I've got that alarmed. Actually, I think I'm going to set one more alarm here so I know if I do get my objective here, which is the 200 on the 15. I actually want an alarm a little bit sooner than it actually hitting the 15. So I'm just going to move her up a bit here. So not a big play. 100 shares in the small accounts and big accounts. It's really more just to have something in play, and I think it's a decent one. I think I'll probably add if it gets some mojo here. I don't expect a bunch today, but you never know. We'll see how it reacts here. Pardon me. Okay, so I'll get that off the board. ROKU, I'll get off the board. That's new buying, so you no telling where that'll go. The shorts might panic. So on Friday I sold a little early, obviously. VERI, I was considering that instead of shop, and I'm just not there yet with it. I'd like to see it trend to the north side before I get too aggressive with it, but I do want to day trade it. Thanks. Happy Thanksgiving. Yeah. Isn't it Columbus Day in the States and Thanksgiving in Canada, I think? Okay. And I have a really bad cold today, by the way. That's why I sound like I do. The air conditioning. Volatility. I was I was hoping it was going to get a fairly good lift into the 12s, and I was going to short it. So that's what I was mucking around with there. I guess at some point later, if it gets lift, I'll look at that again. But I was going to short TVX into a big spike, or not a big spike, but into a spike. XBTUSD, I'm holding a position from 46.07, I think. Not a big one, a small position, just a starter. Where's my position? 46.21. Oh yeah, 46.07 was one earlier that I had closed for a profit. Now this one at 46.21. I had set a sell order while I went for coffee there, I think at around 46.80, and it hit. I think I set it at 46.80.9 and it hit 46.80.5. It's kind of funny. So anyway, stock RSI is down, MACD is trending down, so we're going to see some downdraft. If I get a, I hate to say it, but I'm actually looking for a fairly good downdraft, something close to or lower than the 200 on the 5, so I can actually hammer down a fair bit more. I think we're going to get a key break here above this key resistance. So I'm pretty pumped. I'm going to leave this one on the board because, of course, the returns can be so high if you get hammered down. My other main watch for today was ATHM, and it just hasn't got there yet. I think it's going to, though, because the MACD is crossing. So I am watching this one very close. And this one has a habit of sidewinder after sidewinder when it gets going. It has a pretty neat trading environment. Other ones that were on the watch list today that I had were BABA, oh, I shouldn't have killed that chart. Shoot. Okay, let's just bring up BABA quick. So I had BABA on the watch list, BLUE. Trying to remember what else is on there. Wow, it's a new IPO SWCH. Juno's got an upgrade, blue. And BABA wasn't on the main list here, but it was in the watch list. Somehow it missed the main list. Oh, on the first publishing, it missed, but it's on there. It was edited after. Okay, so let's take a look at BABA. So up 1.46%. This is what I was saying last week that I expected to see in a lot of these from here to singularity stocks and the follow-throughs here. So the markets are getting really fired up. One that I was watching for a possible pullback entry was Tesla. I think this one is going to possibly get a little bit more than what you're seeing right now and then rip. That's my basic thesis on it. I don't have an exact number though. Sorry, I'm sneezing my face off here. Of course, watching the 200, right? So I don't know, maybe the 100 will hold on the daily. But it's obviously bouncing off of natural supports instead of going to the MAs, so it's bullish. It's just a matter of where it's going to get hold and go again. So that's Tesla and BLUE, blue. What's on the watch list? This one's had a few upgrades lately. Quarry Rock was all over this one. On the daily, obviously threatening shorts to take them out. It's a trending stock. It's a little above those MAs. It's pretty extended above that 200. MACD is trending down and squeeze momentum, so it's not, you know, technically something I can enter, but certainly got some action today from the upgrades. So I think that covers what was on the watch list. Let's see here. Of course, gold and oil. Oil in the model, it might be making a turn here for the next few days. So I'm watching that close. Same with gold, it may be making a turn. I don't think they're going to make much of a turn if they do to the upside, but they might make a turn. I think that's about it for stuff that I'm working on and watching and that kind of thing. Of course, there's a bunch of others, but okay. So we'll take a look at what the markets are actually doing here with the leaders. CLNT, of course, you know, I knew about that early in the market day. There's a whole bunch of them that are moving that I just can't get behind right now, because I see other plays setting up that are much more consistently not as risky, you know, with good risk reward, not as aggressive as these for sure, but I'm just not ready for the risk right now. So CLNT, not my thing, but there you go. ONTX, the same idea. It just doesn't hold its gains. It's a little less volatile than CLNT, but still. BSPM, so you got another issue, very similar. HMNY, this is the one that got in here, it got divergent, and it just hasn't stopped since. Divergent from its previous spikes, and it just keeps going and going and going. You know, sometimes it's not a bad idea to throw a little bit at them and put a stop on them and let them go. It depends, I guess, where your where your trading portfolio and thesis and everything is at. Just wasn't good timing for me. ATEC, I mean, it kind of holds. I was looking at this one earlier, thinking it kind of holds, and it, you know, it did back test and go, but then it dropped off. It's moderately okay. I expect a lot of those other ones that we do have set up to come back to us here very soon, because they're starting to rotate through. So this one I just have no use for at all. LEDS, not easy to trade. JP, we've been watching this one for, so this is the same kind of idea as HMNY. Yeah, what can you say? Last week I was gonna, you know, close my eyes and enter and go. I just didn't. And again, a should have, could have, would have. And you know, you can't begrudge anybody that does that with this, because there's nothing to go on, and it's obviously squeezing. I think it was an issue of, well, it's got 1 million shares today. Very, very interesting. So it's one of those plays. BIOP, BIOP. There's the alert on VERI, by the way. BIOP is divergent on the daily out of its bullish stance, well, out of its pullback and back into a bullish stance. So the chances of it going are very high, probability-wise. The only problem is it's up against resistance. I was examining this one too, thinking it's divergent to the bullish side. Another one of those where you could just enter along and, you know, get a decent entry on the daily. You definitely want to do it on a pullback at the bottom of that daily candle, or, you know, when you see me enter strength all the time on the breakouts, but this kind of scenario you have to enter on the pullback, at least on the pullback here, 5 minute at least, to get a half decent entry. It's kind of like trading VERI, same idea, these real aggressive ones. INTT, there's just nothing there at all. I looked at that one earlier. ALT, I don't think I looked at this. Bottom play, $2.90. Your major resistance going to come in right around 440 after that 100-day breach is at $3. There again, not my deal. I think they had news is what it was. PRTS, US Auto Parts. Sloppy trader. ANY. Just a whack of volume here. And you can see it's a bottom play. SORL. Just getting its 200. This one is neat from the action that it previously got on the 200. This one tempted me, I have to be honest. But I'm not going to go there, but it certainly gets serious when it gets going. XRF, don't know anything about it. And these China plays, I can't get behind them, but you know, there's so much potential short-term gains with them. OMF, again, another one, not my gig. HIIQ, I found this interesting. So this one I had executed a number of times. I pretty much nailed it right to the penny on the 3 occasions, I guess it was. So technically it trades very, very clean. So this has my attention on the weekend when I was going through the charts. We started publishing on the weekend. I'll publish, hopefully I'll get the rest done tonight, but we started. The charting's done, as I said, on Friday. But anyway, it's testing the 20 MA here. Once it gets up over that 20, I expect it to work through the MAs one at a time, and you know, so it's a technical scenario. There's a few things on the chart that aren't perfectly technical, but not a lot. It trades really clean. So while I'm here, I may as well just add an alert. So that's HIIQ. So I'm actually really interested in that one. So shop on the daily. This is the one I just took an entry on. Trading 98.90. No, it's not 98.90. It's trading at 98.16. My entry is at 98.40 something. Like high of day. On the daily, it's fine so far. It's right up against its MA there, the 100. That'll be interesting to see how it handles it. But the 100 could push it down, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Back to the Momos. INAP. I'm trying to remember, bring my recollection back to this one. It's pretty interesting stuff. It's got its marks on resistance pretty clear. Huh. Really clean. Not what I will play, but just barely. Barely. Like I'm barely saying, no, it's just, I don't know, to be honest with you. DL, bottom play. Long distance education holdings. CLSN. We're going to be able to get into some earnings plays coming soon here. I don't So I think we're going to see good rotation into the charts that we've been watching for a long time. That's my expectation. So, you know, over the next day or two, getting all the charts out, and as they trigger, I'll be entering them in advance of earnings to put together a decent quarter. RADA filled its gap, but you know, it's probably got more to go here. This its nature is to spike really hard, so I wouldn't doubt that you're going to see one of those spikes. Well, that's kind of an exaggeration. I said its nature because I remember the spike, but the rest of the chart isn't like that. So that's not necessarily true. There are other spikes there, but nothing like this last one. I remember this one clearly. So I don't know, maybe it'll do it again. But... So that's RADA. So VERI is now on the board as a leader. And let's take a look here. Right. KTWO, NETE, XXII. That XXII doesn't surprise me. It's quite the extension. And good run it had. KTWO, don't know anything about it. Chart looks very sick. NETE, didn't think it would last. We'll see how it handles the test of the final MA there. XXII, we were all over this all the way through the run. What a fantastic run. And you know, it's hardly off. It's too far gone for me, but ECYT, so this is what, day 5? Yeah. Huh. It's holding up better than I thought it would. CAPR, day 6, I think, ish. Oh, it's follow through breakout. I wouldn't be surprised if this one holds, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark the stock RSI in this one. I'm going to watch this one close. I think this one's going to go. I know it's not the best chart. There's all kinds of challenges with it. I just suspect it's going to go. You know, it has a habit of doing it, like here and here. You know, and even the smaller of the two spikes goes from, well, call it from the 200. It goes from 420 to, you know, it's almost a triple. And then that's just insane. So your risk reward is really good if you get on the right side of that push. So my basic thesis with this one, I was looking at this one earlier this morning, is in that stock RSI crosses, if I can see some increasing volume, I might take it. I'd prefer to take it in pre-market, so I've got it alarmed for its stock RSI. But of all of them, this would be probably my number one bet in terms of what's gonna pop. So I may as well, for the study session tonight, get this one saved just in case. XBTUSD starting to pop again here. I didn't get much of a pullback there, did I? Dang it. That might come off with that 20 MA there. Okay, so that's CAPR. Then SGRY, I'm trying to remember this one. Oh yeah. AMC, AKAO, SWCH, so that's the new IPO. Good short there, if there was borrows. PRTO, been watching this one. I wouldn't doubt that this one goes too. It's just, well, I just wouldn't doubt it. It's just when. I think that's bottom, at least for the interim, till the offering. I've got it alarmed. Yeah, it's just how I see it. Okay, so that is that, and on the OTC, I'm going to leave all those alone. So that's the charting. Anybody have any charts they want to look at or offer the crew? See you later, Chris. But one other thing is oil has been bullish all morning, and if it gets a pop into its new zone over its a high here, I might take a long in UWT. So if there are no other offerings in terms of charts or anything, I think what I'll do is I'll just watch and see how the market sets up here this afternoon, call that midday. And like I said, I'm really fighting a bad cold. So if the afternoon looks calm, I'll probably head out early around 2 o'clock today, but I'll let you guys know depending on how the market shapes up here.